How to draw a sunflower. Welcome to Rain Francis Art for Kids. Today I'm going to show you how to draw this cute little sunflower with coloring pencils, step by step. This is an easy drawing lesson for kids, beginners, and kids of all ages. Hi everyone, welcome to Rain Francis Art for Kids. My name is Rain. In this series, Summer Party, we draw and paint everything that has to do with summertime. So let's begin. This is what you'll need for today's drawing. I've got a piece of paper here. It's actually my dollar store drawing pad. It's 11 by 8.5 inches. I've got a pencil. I have my eraser. I have an old dollar store paintbrush that I use to brush off my page. And for color today, we have my little yellow coloring pencil. I have a yellow orangish color. You could use orange if you don't have a yellowy orange color. I have green and I have brown. I also have a fine-tipped black marker for outlining and a black Sharpie. So why don't I clear off my workspace and we can begin. Let me just get the dust off my page. Now let's draw our sunflower. Now a sunflower is a beautiful flower, isn't it? It just symbolizes summer. I love it. And it's August here in Canada. So all of the sunflowers are out. So let's start by drawing a circle. Now I'm not too concerned about how I'm drawing right now because what I'm going to do is after I draw with pencil, I'm going to outline with my fine tip black marker and erase my pencil marks, okay? So now what I'm going to do is draw the petals like this. See how I'm doing that? I'm sort of going round to a point and then round down. And I'm attaching them. And by attaching them, I mean they're all sort of touching, you see? Like that. I think we can fit one more. There we go. Now sunflowers have a lot of petals, so I'm going to add a few more in the back. Just like that. And they're all going to be different colors. The ones on the front here are going to be yellow, and the ones in the back are going to be that yellowy orange color. Okay, a lot of petals there. So now what we can do is we can draw a stem. And I'm not going to make it too long because I want you to be able to see the whole thing. I'll stop right there. Just a very thin stem. And let's draw some leaves. 1, 2, 3 leaves. Just like that. And I'm going to draw. She's going to be a she today, so let's draw her eyes. Just these big oval eyes. Just so we know where they are. And I'll put the pupils in right away. Sometimes I don't do that right away, but I'll do it this time. Okay, so that is the sunflower. And we're going to put in the details, the details later. The mouth and her eyelashes and eyebrows and things like that. But what I'm going to do right now is outline everything with my fine tip black marker. Now that's optional. You don't have to do that. You can just start coloring in right away if you want. But I think it looks nice when everything is outlined. And I'm not too concerned with following my pencil marks because, like I said, I will be erasing them. See, I'm kind of not following them at all. That's all right, though. Just going to be careful we go. And I'll just draw in her eyes right now. Outline, I should say, outline her eyes right now. And the stem. The leaves. There we go. Now my sunflower's all outlined. Doesn't she look cute? So what I'm going to do is erase all of my pencil marks. Now I always say this, when you're doing, if you're going to outline and erase, make sure your marker is dry. Some markers take a long time to dry. Mine dries quite quickly, but even still I'm going to erase very lightly. And if I have to erase more than once, I will erase more than once. But I want to make sure that my marker doesn't smudge. And you can always erase marker a little bit, not a lot. But when you press too hard with your eraser, when you've got marker, it'll make the marker look a little faded. So that's why we're going to go lightly the first time, and then go a second time if we have to, which I have to. Well, that's my puppy settling on the floor. He's so loud. He's very loud. He just flops down. I love having dogs in the house, though. It's so nice. Do you have pets? Do you have dogs or cats or fish? Some people have fish as pets. I have a friend, and she has a farm. They have goats, and they have chickens, and they have geese, bunny rabbits, horses. I'm probably forgetting something. Oh, they have dogs and cats, of course. Don't think they have fish, though. Okay, so I've erased all my pencil marks, and now I'm going to start adding my color. The first color I'm going to take is my little yellow pencil here. And all of those leaves, you know those leaves that we connected here? Not leaves, the petals. Those are all going to be yellow. So I'm going to start coloring in my petals. And if you are using coloring pencils, you don't have to press down hard. And you want to turn your pencil so it doesn't wear down all on one side. And I guess you can tell I've really used this pencil a lot. I think this may be the last time I can use it, because I won't be able to sharpen it anymore because it's too small to put in my sharpener. And if you wanted to, you could color all of the petals in yellow. It's your drawing, and you should do whatever you want. I'm just here to show you how to draw it, to give you ideas for color, and to give you tips about drawing and coloring, like turning your pencil. Okay, got my last little petal here. Now, the reason I told you you don't have to press down hard is because we're going to color every petal in a second time. That's called adding a second layer. And I'm not pressing down hard at all. I'm really not. I'm just coloring it in, turning my pencil once in a while. And you can see the difference between one layer and two layers. 2 layers is much, much more vibrant. And that's why we don't press down hard, because if you press down hard, a few things can happen. First of all, you could break the tip of your pencil, right? Then you have to sharpen it again, and your pencil doesn't last as long. And we all know art supplies are not cheap, so we want them to last as long as possible, right? A second thing that could happen is that you could tire out your hand. You could get a cramp in your hand and you're like, ah. And we don't want to do that. When we draw, we want it to be fun and pleasant, right? And a third thing that could happen, depending on what kind of paper you're using, is that you could tear your paper or damage your paper. And we don't want to do that either. So use a light touch and add layers. And you could add a third layer if you're not happy with the color. You add layers until you're happy with how it looks. For me, I think 2 layers is going to be nice. Look at that beautiful, vibrant yellow. So bright and cheerful. It is hard to draw with the tiny little pencil though. So I'm going to have to put this one to rest from now on. All right. Oh, that looks really nice for summer. Oh, it's beautiful. So now I've got my yellowy orange color, and I'm going to do the same thing. Fill in those back petals with this yellowy orange color. And I'm going to try not to get any of that into the yellow petals. I'm going to go ahead and start putting in a second layer right away. And this pencil is very sharp, so I'm going to be careful not to press down too hard so the tip doesn't break off. Sometimes it happens anyway, but I want to try not to break the tip. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing that with each of these back petals. Now this is just a cartoon. Sunflowers don't usually have orange and yellow, like different petals, you know. Maybe they do, I don't know. I used to grow sunflowers and they used to get really, really big. I haven't grown them in a while though. I should though, because they attract butterflies and they attract bees. And bees and butterflies are good for the garden because they transfer pollen back and forth to the plants, which helps them to grow. Don't forget to turn your pencil, my friends. And don't press down hard at all. Just add more layers. And this would look really nice with markers too. I think a marker would make this very, very vibrant. But today I decided to use coloring pencils. I haven't used them in a while, so... Well, that's not true. I did last week with the garlic. But I'd been using markers for the longest time for my videos because I was enjoying using the markers, but then I missed using the coloring pencils, so I'm back to using those. I think this sunflower is looking really pretty. Don't forget to turn your pencil. There. That looks really nice. I just noticed a little spot that I missed with the yellow there. And here too. Seems like I missed spots around the edges of the petals. There we go. Now I'm going to take my brown color and I'm going to color in her whole face brown except for her eyes. And for this, I don't think I'm going to put a second layer. I think one will be enough because I don't want it to be too dark. But I'll see. I might put in a second layer. I'm just going to be careful not to get any brown into her eyes or into any of the petals. And I'm using a very soft touch here because, once again, this is a sharp tip. Now don't forget to turn that pencil. Just going to concentrate here. Turning my pencil. There we go. Looking very pretty. Now, while I think about that, I'm going to do the stem in brown as well. And for sure, for the stem, I'm going to do 2 layers because I want that to be darker. Okay, I'm going to add the second layer, coloring it in a second time to give it a nicer brown color there. And I think I'm going to give her face a second layer as well, just to make it look a little more brown. I know that sunflowers have dark brown faces. I don't know what to call them. The inside part. There is a name for it that I can never remember, but let's just call it a face for now. I know that they're dark brown, but we want to be able to see her eyes and her smile and all that, so we're making it a little less dark. Now don't forget to turn your pencil. I'm going to be careful here. I don't want to get any brown into her eyes. I'm glad that I decided to do a second layer here. It's not as dark as this one, but it's just a little darker, so I'm okay with that. Okay, now I'm going to color in the leaves green. And again, I'm going to do 2 layers, I think. Maybe 3, but we'll see. Don't forget to turn your pencil. All right, I'm going to do a second layer now on each leaf. One layer, 2 layers. Which one do you think looks nicer? I think 2 layers. Yeah, 2 layers will be enough for this leaf, for these leaves. All right, there we go. Now I'm wondering, should I do a 3rd layer? Yes. Okay, I'm going to do a 3rd layer on her face. I was just going to stick to 2, but I think I'm going to do a 3rd layer. I want it to be a little darker brown. Don't forget to turn your pencil if you're using coloring pencils. And I suppose you could turn your crayon too, so you don't wear it all down on one side if you're using crayons. All right, there we go. She's all colored in. So why don't I take my black Sharpie and I'll fill in her pupils right here so that we could see those big eyes. All right, let's add some detail. I I've got my black fine tip marker, and you could use a black coloring pencil if you don't have, or you can use the Sharpie. And since she's a she, I'm going to give her some eyelashes. So she looks real pretty. Some eyebrows. Why don't we give her some lashes on the bottom too? And a big smile. And we'll give her some cheeks. To show cheeks, you put little semicircles at the edge of each side of the mouth. So that's our beautiful little sunflower, my friends. Don't forget to sign your work. I want you to always be proud of the beautiful work of art that you just created. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, my friends, and we'll see you next time on Summer Party. Thanks for watching. Bye.